Welcome to another edition of Eric's Product Reviews. This one specifically is also going to be very interesting for any of you Android fans out there, but really it's for anybody who is interested in cool tech products. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Neo A2 wireless Air mouse. And this was created specifically for use with the MINIX Neo series Android TV boxes, and I did review this previously, and I'll be doing an updated review of it as well, so you can check those out to see more specifics about the Neo X7 itself. But this review is going to focus specifically on the wireless Air mouse. This mouse was created to work specifically with the MINIX Android TV boxes, and it is great. It has all your basic keys on there that you would expect to have for Android: home key, menu, running apps. Has a few extras like your play and pause, volume level buttons, as well as a power button for the box. It does have a speaker, but I'm going to tell you right now the speaker is absolutely 100% useless, so pretend that it doesn't have a speaker. But what it does have that I love and is really cool is it has a mic, and the mic works well, and I'm going to demonstrate that for you in a minute. On the back it has a full QWERTY keyboard, so that's great because you can use this to input stuff, which is a great way to do it when you're using the Android TV box. If you're searching or anytime you need to input something, you've got a full keyboard to use for that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hop on my Neo X7 with the Air mouse, and I'm going to demonstrate how it works, things I love about it, a couple of things that probably you wouldn't want to use it for, that it's not great for, but I'll show you why it is. I think if you have an Android TV box, you should definitely pick this up because there's a lot of really cool things that it does. Okay, so you can see my TV's on in the background. My box isn't on yet. Just to give you a close-up of the remote, right here you have a few lights to give indicators as to when you have sound and mic on or when it's communicating with the box. You have the button to mute the sound. You have your typical Android navigation buttons. You have your center button here, which you'll use most of the time to click on something. You have your outer navigation buttons if you want to use those as opposed to using the mouse, the Air mouse. Those you probably would not use that much, but you can for some things. And then you have again your go back button, a return button. This is the button to activate the actual wireless mouse. You have volume up and volume down. You have your app drawer button, which only will work if you're using the built-in launcher, I have found. But you do have that there. And then you have media buttons. Then on the back here you see you have your QWERTY keyboard with all the letters and characters that you would need right there. So let's turn on that power button, and that's going to wake up my Android TV. And let's get it out of that screen. So once you activate the mouse, you can see the cursor is moving as I'm moving my hand. It's just like if you ever used Wii, it's the same technology, the Wii controller. You'll want to, if you use this, you'll want to go into your settings and change the speed of the mouse to be about 50%, more or less, is what seems to work good, so that if you have it at 100%, then you barely move, your mouse will jump all the way off the screen. But you adjust your settings to work what's good for you, and you'll see I'm moving. I can take Facebook, I can press that middle button, and then to select it, and then move it over, and then drop it. So just like long pressing, I can press that button to move the screen So it works, you know, it just mimics touch. And if it gets off, then you just point it down, and then it'll catch back up with you when you catch back up. So you can see works pretty cool. You can input via the keyboard. So let's go over here, and let's go to Google, and I'm gonna go up and do a search. So I just turn this over, and once I turn this over, now I can use this to type whatever I want to type. So let's go Hollywood. There we go. Hollywood. Except I spelled it wrong. But of course, Google knows what you're thinking. We'll say Hollywood sign hike, and so I can click that, and I can you know, press and move the cursor up to navigate, you know, up. If I want to use one of the Android keys, what I can do is I can minimize this bar, because I don't need that because I have all those keys right here, and then I can just use these keys. So I can press the menu button, for example, and you'll see the settings menu came up over there in the corner. Or I can press the home button, and it'll take me back home. So very effective way just to do general navigation. You can also change volume. You've got volume keys down here on the bottom, so you can use those. So focus in there. You can use those to volume up, volume down. You can see volume changing as I'm pressing those buttons, which is great. And home menu. So now that we're on that screen, if I press the menu button, then it pops up the Apex menu right there, since I'm using Apex Home Launcher. So very good for the shortcut keys. Now, one of the things I love about this, I did point out, or did mention, and now I'm going to show you the speaker on this thing is right there. As it comes into focus, I'm going to tell you, this speaker is 100% useless. Come on, camera, focus. There we go. So the speaker is right there, and if you've used a Wii, you know how the speaker is on the Wii controllers. This speaker is worse than that. It's pointless, it's useless, it doesn't work for anything. So not worth, don't count on using that speaker. And why would you need to? This is for use with an Android TV. You have it hooked up to your TV, which has obviously speakers. So it doesn't work, but to me that doesn't matter, because that's not a good reason to have it. However, at the bottom here you have a mic, and that works great. And I'm going to show you how right now, using Google Now as well as Voice Assistant that I have. So if we go to voice search, I can click voice search, images of dogs, and there you go. And I did that using the mic that is on here. You can see that little red light that lights up. That's the light that lets you know the mic is active. Again, if I go back up here, I can go up here. What's the weather like today? And get my weather. And that's all because of that mic. And there's no really other good way for an Android TV to have a mic. I tried looking for other wireless mics, and they just don't exist. Not for use with this type of setup. But with this remote, you get the mic there on the bottom, and so you can have this across the room and you can do stuff. Now if I'm using Utter, There is a voice assistant I have installed on here, and I also installed an app that I've reviewed before called Home to Shortcut, and you can find that on my Android app review channel. And the cool thing about it is I have it set up so that if I double press this home key, then instead of going home, it opens, it initiates Utter as my voice assistant. So I'm going to show you that.
Can I help you, sir?
Open YouTube.
Opened YouTube.
So you see it. I can activate it from this remote. I don't have to go out of the app I'm in. I just double click the home key. Again, using Home to Shortcut, I set that up, and it immediately initiates my voice assistant, and then I can give a command and go right into YouTube. So so that's pretty cool. Let me show you another example of that.
Can I help you, sir?
Search Yelp Pizza. So you see, I get the voice command, and now it's going
Searching
to
Yelp for pizza.
Open Yelp, and it's going to search for pizza automatically. So really cool use of voice, and again, you can do that, and there's my reminder, I have to go to the dentist soon. You can do that through this remote because of that mic. And again, I tried to see if there's anything else that even compared to this, and there isn't. There's no other kind of wireless regular mouse or just mic alone. These type of remotes are the only things that have this feature, and it's great because this is the only way you can remotely control your Android TV by voice. And of course, eventually you could put you know, there's unlimited different things you could set that up to do. But just want to show you the mic on this works excellent. While the speaker isn't so good, the mic is great. I did want to mention about the batteries, that the batteries seem to be working fine for me. I've had the same batteries in here for several weeks, and it's only 2 AAA batteries. So I figure if 2 AAA batteries last me a month, then that's good. That's plenty of time for me because batteries are not that expensive these days. A couple of other things I wanted to show you. Let's go back to my home screen. How you can use this just for general stuff. Again, like I can long press here, and by long pressing, and that's just clicking that middle button to long press, then it brings up where I can add an app, and so I could choose an app or a shortcut. You know, just the same as if I was controlling it with my hand. Now with games, there are some things it's not going to be good for, some things it may be okay for. I think if you're going to use this to play games, there. Sometimes you might use this remote, but you'll probably want to use it in conjunction with either a standard mouse. For some games, a standard mouse would work better, or in conjunction with your phone. I'm going to show you a few examples of that. Let's open up my games folder here. And let's open up, that is not the game I wanted to open up. Let's try that again. I'm going to open up Star Wars Angry Birds, and I'm going to show you how it does and doesn't work for that. So on Angry Birds, a lot of times you can press that middle button, and you'll see you can move the screen over to look at things. But a lot of times you want to zoom out so you can see the whole thing, and you can't do that with this. You can zoom in, but you can't really, there's no way to zoom out using this remote. So you'd probably want to use your phone along with it, so that with your phone you can zoom out. And you can use both at the same time. It does work. Now you can use this to do this part. Without any problem. You just can't use it to zoom out. So there's certain things that you'd want to use a you want to use your phone along with it. You wouldn't be able to play the game as well with just this remote. So let's get out of this. So we're out of that. Now let me show you another game. Let me show you a game that it does work good for. This game is Heads Up, which you may be familiar with. And so you could have someone sit in front of the TV facing away from it so they don't see it, and everyone else sitting on the sofa towards the TV doing whatever it is you're doing, whether you're acting it out or whatever. And it tells you to place on forehead to start the game. Well, you could use your phone, but this remote has a gyroscope. So if I place it like this, so if you get one right, you go down. If you're going wrong, or you want to pass, you go up. So you do it the same way you do with your phone. So in order to make that work, I did turn the remote, the cursor remote off, which is again using that button right there. So now I'm going to turn it back on just to go back. So so it works great for that. And then let me show you real quick one other game. Ski Safari. Now this is a simple game. All you do is touch the screen to jump, or long press the screen to jump into a backflip. So you would think that you could use this middle button and do that. But for some reason it doesn't quite seem to work the way it should. So I'm trying to press the ski button right now to start the game, and it doesn't receive the input for some reason. So you can't even start this game with this remote. I don't know why it doesn't receive the inputs from this remote, but as you can see, I'm pressing the button, moving around, doesn't do anything. So this is a game you'd have to use your phone in order to play this game. But again, if you have an Android TV box, you probably have an Android phone and you can get that remote. So there's just some things that I wanted to show you. You would want to use your phone along with this remote, or just use your phone or a mouse for some games especially. But again, just for general navigation and navigating around, opening apps, getting into an app, opening stuff up and browsing, generally most of the stuff you do, this works great. And the mic on it works really great. So lots of good things that you can do. Also for typing, as you saw when I did a search, or if you just need to search by voice using Google Now, or you want to go directly to a website and just type it in, and you just use that keyboard and type in. So I think definitely a product that is worth the purchase price, because it's not that expensive. It's a great accessory. It adds functionality to your Android TV box. If for no other reason, I would get it just for the general navigation and the mic alone. But the QWERTY keyboard and those kind of things also make it pretty darn cool. That was the Neo A2 wireless air mouse. As you can see, it's not something you're going to use for everything that you do, but for general use it's good, and the mic on it is awesome. If you want to use a voice assistant and use voice commands with your box, then having the mic in your hand like that is brilliant. Great for input, and yeah, overall really really good wireless air mouse / remote control. I will say I saw some comments from some people on some reviews about batteries not lasting, but I haven't had a problem. I've been using the same batteries for a couple weeks and they're still going. It has like an automatic shut-off time. If you don't use it for like 60 seconds or so, it shuts itself off. All you have to do is tap a button to turn it back on, but that saves battery power as well. You know, it's just like the batteries you use. It's similar to the Wii and the batteries in the Wii controllers. You didn't expect those to last forever because, you know, it does use a lot of power. And this is only running on 2 AAA batteries. So, you know, obviously they're not going to last forever. If you use it a lot, you're going to have to replace them, depending on how much you use them. But, like I said, I've had the same batteries for several weeks and I haven't had to replace them yet. So I figure if I'm using it fairly often and I have to replace them once every 3 or 4 weeks, that's not a big deal because batteries are cheap. So anyway, that is it for this review. If you like this review, please click that like button. If you know anyone who's interested in Android or possibly Android TV unit, then share this with them on Facebook, Reddit, Twitter. All those fun ways are all down there. I do have an unboxing video. I'll have a link so you can click over and see the unboxing if you're into the whole unboxing thing. You can see the unboxing and see what all is in the package. And also you'll probably want to check out the review of the Neo X7 itself, which I reviewed, and see how other ways that I use the remote in conjunction with the Neo X7 and all the cool things that it can do. I have 2 reviews, so you can check both of those out. And that is it. Until next time, so check out my channel, subscribe. I've got tons of Android app reviews, also Tasker tutorials and NFC tutorials. So you can subscribe to my channel, or you can just favorite this playlist, the product review playlist, or any other playlist I have if you just want to keep up with those specific videos. Anyway, that is it until next time, so have a great day.